I guess it's a slightly strange situation this week, Dan. You're preparing for a game that you've already prepared for once, just a week ago. What was the experience like last week, where everybody was stripped and ready to go, and suddenly the game was off at kick-off time?
Yeah, obviously the game got called off because the pitch was pretty frozen. But yeah, we were preparing it as if it was going to be on. To be fair, did all the warm up and then obviously came back and it got called off pretty late. We knew just as much as what the fans knew, until literally kick-off time, and obviously we got told it was going to be rearranged for this week.
How strange is that? Because I imagine not just preparation for tactics and the team selection and all that stuff. I imagine mentally you kind of get revved up ahead of a game. What's it like when it then doesn't happen?
Yeah, it's normally it doesn't really happen because it's pretty rare that game gets called off literally minutes before kick-off. So yeah, it was pretty unusual for me and for probably the rest of the lads in the changing room.
I imagine the least popular thing was the fact that you had to come into training the next day, right?
Yeah, I don't think players were too happy with that, but we had to do it, didn't we?
Nothing much will change in a week, will it? Will some of that preparation you've already done on Lincoln potentially stand you in good stead this time round?
Yeah, we obviously already had a look at them, did a bit of prep for them last week, so I think we'll be ready for this week.
Both teams had a 0-0 draw at the weekend, so it's pretty much as you were in terms of those preparations. You know what will happen if you win. The draw's already been made. Is there any thought goes into that? Can you afford to think about that?
No, I don't think there's too much thought into what happens if we win. We've got to just look at this, take it game by game, try and get a result in this, and then we can look ahead.
There's a couple of lads that you know well in the Lincoln City setup in Lucas Jensen and Ethan Hamilton. There won't be any secrets, will there, between these teams? They're pretty much open books.
No, yeah. Obviously, I trained with both of them a lot last season. Obviously, know Ethan quite well. Obviously, same position as me. Would have trained with him a lot of times, so sort of know what they're like.
And having obviously gone from League One into League Two again, players like that still able to ply their trade at League One. What differences are you noticing? Because I guess you've had a taste of League One football and now you're playing in League Two. What kind of differences are you seeing compared to yourselves and Lincoln and the standard you're playing at?
I don't think there's a massive difference, if I'm being honest. I think obviously there's a bit of extra quality in League One. Probably more at like the top end of the pitch, scoring goals, creating chances. But I think it's pretty similar. I don't think there's too much different.
Now this competition, the manager, if I had £1 for every time he told me he wants to win it and he wants to go to Wembley, I'd probably be able to pay for a player or something. He loves it. He thinks it's a great competition. We had Aaron Pickles sat in here last week talking about the opportunities that it brings younger players, less experienced players. How important is it to get that first team opportunity when you are coming through the ranks?
Yeah, I think it's massive because the opportunities don't come around like too often. So to get a game in men's football, a competitive game, obviously you can show what you can do then, and obviously you can try and get yourself into the team for like league games to come.
I looked at the subs bench in the league game at the weekend, and I think it was every player on the bench, bar maybe 2 or 3, had come through the system here at some point, whether they've come in as a teenager or like you did, much younger than that. Is there a sense of pride in that amongst the young players that are kind of Accrington through and through? Yeah,
definitely. I think actually I had a look around on the bench on Saturday. I think I was one of the oldest ones as well. Like obviously, quite a lot have come through the academy. We know each other, so obviously like we're all like happy for each other to see like we've going in around the squad and we're doing well. So
is it a bit of a balancing act? Do you have to be patient? Because I suppose if you get a taste in this competition, for example, and then maybe don't play a league game for a while, you've kind of got to have faith that your time will come.
Yeah, you've got to be patient because as long as you take your opportunities in these games, your time will come. So you've just got to be patient, keep working hard in training, as we all do, and see where it goes. And
we're not quite at the situation we were talking about last season with players absent left, right and centre due to injury, but there's been a little bit of that, hasn't there? Certainly yourself and Ben Woods a bit earlier in the season playing in central midfield might not have been the partnership that everybody expected in August. Do we see players step up when these sort of adversity times happen?
Yeah, injuries are always going to happen. Probably in every club there's injuries. There's going to be people going out. So everyone's always ready. no matter who it is, whether the young, experienced, they're always ready. Coming from, even if they're from out of the squad or on the bench, they're always ready to step into the team at any point.
And you talk about being one of the older ones on the bench the other day. Do you feel that sort of happening? Do you see younger lads coming in? Do you see kids coming in from the under 18s and the under 23s? And does that make you kind of think a bit differently about your role in the team?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I've seen quite a lot of younger lads this season get an opportunity and get a lot of game time because there's a lot of quality in there in the academy. So I'm not really too surprised.
And from a personal point of view, patience has been the word at times, I guess, particularly at the start of the season. Do you enjoy the competition? Would you rather have everybody fit and be sort of battling for that place, or sometimes when there's a couple missing, do you think this is an opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you want the competition because it pushes you to be better. Then, even if sometimes you aren't getting a game, it pushes you to be better in every training session, every game, and it just makes you the best player you can be.
Has anyone mentioned Wembley yet? Last 32? Is it too early?
I think it's a bit too early. We'll see.
And obviously last season, just finally, so close to making history in this competition, and it ended in such a disappointing way. Does that provide any kind of incentive, any kind of motivation for this competition this season, or do you just sort of draw a line under it? Yeah,
obviously we'll look back at last season and wish we'd obviously gone one step further. So I think that'll give us motivation this season because you want that feeling back of being close to Wembley and getting to Wembley. So hopefully we can take the club there this season.